The movie begins by introducing two young boys, Scene and Pio, who are orphans and have been bought by an old man called Uncle Wo to work as slaves. Despite facing difficulties, they work hard to survive and help each other. They both share a common dream inspired by seeing the skill of a great general named General Aki. They hope to become famous generals themselves. During their spare time, while collecting wood and cutting logs, Scene and Pio have joint training sessions deep in the forest, using homemade wooden swords. Over time, they regularly practice together to improve their fighting skills and agility. By dedicating themselves to training every day, they become skilled swordsmen and strong fighters. One day, while practicing, General Chang watches Pio's swordsmanship and praises his skill. The next day, General Chang went to Uncle Wo's house and informed him that the royal court was enlisting soldiers from different areas. He asked for permission for Pio to join the kingdom's special soldier training. Although Scene didn't get the same chance, he was happy for Pio and promised to support him fully in achieving his goal. That night, before they went their separate ways, Pio and Scene had one last practice session of sword fighting and promised to keep pursuing their dreams. Scene decided to step up his training efforts, aiming to catch up with Pio and become a royal soldier, bringing them closer to their shared dream of becoming great generals. A few days later, Scene increased his training in the cave on the hillside, concentrating on improving his swordsmanship. His committed practice led to notable enhancements in his fighting skills, evident when he effortlessly broke a boulder with his wooden sword. A couple of days later, while taking a break in his isolated hut, Scene was surprised by Pio's sudden appearance, who seemed to be seriously injured. In his final moments, Pio disclosed startling news of a rebellion in the kingdom, led by the younger brother of the current king, who had sent an assassin to murder the king. In the chaos, Pio was forced by royal authorities to pretend to be the king, which led to his tragic death. Before he died, Pio gave Scene an important task: to travel to a village marked on a map he had. He said that in the village, Scene would find an army that could train him to become a better fighter. That night, Scene ran quickly towards the village Pio mentioned. However, on the way, he came across a group of criminals who surrounded him, forcing him to fight. Luckily, because of his extensive training, he was able to defeat all the members of the gang by himself. Continuing on his journey, Scene finally arrived at the specified village, where he found a simple hut occupied by a man named King Keen, who had escaped from the kingdom. King Keen then disclosed to Scene that General Chang had intentionally brought Pio to the kingdom because of his striking similarity to him. Their intention was to deceive the traitorous royal officials who had plotted a coup with his younger brother, Prince Seikyo. Meanwhile, the soldiers of the royal army reached Uncle Wo's house and discovered Pio's lifeless body. General Ji, who was aligned with Prince Seikyo, realized that the person he had mistakenly killed earlier was not King Keen, but a commoner named Pio. At the same time, Scene, now understanding the kingdom's betrayal and Pio's sacrifice, holds deep resentment towards King Keen. During their intense conversation, an assassin sent by Prince Seikyo suddenly enters their hut, aiming to kill King Keen. The assassin tries to manipulate Scene into killing King Keen, claiming that he and other royal officials were responsible for Pio's death. Instead of following the assassin's instructions, Scene fights and defeats him, suspecting him of Pio's murder. In a fierce battle with deadly moves, Scene ultimately triumphs over the assassin. After the fight, he returns to King Keen, expressing his ongoing sorrow over Pio's death. Despite this, King Keen tried to calm Scene down, explaining that Pio's hardships were a sacrifice made to protect the entire kingdom. He clarified that his own survival was crucial to prevent his cruel and corrupt younger brother from seizing the throne, which would inevitably lead to the kingdom's downfall. King Keen suggested to Scene the idea of forming a new army together to confront Prince Seikyo, ensuring that Pio's sacrifice would not be in vain. On the other hand, Prince Seikyo was filled with disappointment and anger upon discovering King Keen's survival. He then ordered his allies to send more assassins to hunt down his older brother. The next day, while King Keen and Scene were traveling through the forest, they were attacked by an assassin armed with a poisoned needle weapon. Scene fought the assassin until he managed to behead him with his sword. However, shortly after, Scene collapsed and started to lose consciousness because of the poison from the needle. Thankfully, King Keen rescued Scene and tended to his injuries until he recovered. When Scene woke up, their hideout was suddenly invaded by a group of royal soldiers. Luckily, these soldiers were led by General Chang, who remained faithful to King Keen. Swearing his loyalty to King Keen, General Chang helped in devising a plan to reclaim the throne from Prince CQ. Meanwhile, despite Prince CQ's unsuccessful attempts to get rid of King Keen, he decided to declare himself as the new king in front of the entire kingdom's army. On the other hand, King Keen felt discouraged as his army was greatly outnumbered by the royal army. To address this issue, one of his generals suggested seeking help from the mountain tribes to strengthen their forces. Taking this advice into account, King Keen immediately ordered his army to march towards the territory of the mountain tribes. After a challenging journey filled with obstacles, King Keen and his army arrived at the borderlands of the mountain tribes. However, upon reaching there, they were not welcomed warmly by the tribal forces, but instead were captured and held prisoner. Confronting the leader of the mountain tribe, King Keen pleaded for help in retaking the throne stolen by his younger brother. Despite his request, the tribal leaders rejected it, pointing to past betrayals by the royal court, which had led to the deaths of many mountain tribe warriors. However, refusing to give up, King Keen sincerely apologized to the members of the mountain tribe for the past wrongs committed by the royal officials. Touched by his genuine regret, the leader of the mountain tribe decided to forgive him and agreed to assist in reclaiming the throne. The mountain tribespeople pledged their support to King Keen's army to launch an attack on the royal palace. Following this, King Keen and his companions began planning strategies to confront the royal forces from different directions. He assigned Scene and General Chang to lead the first army, while he himself, disguised as a member of the mountain tribe, would lead the second army alongside the mountain tribe warriors and their leader. The next day, when the mountain tribe's army and King Keen's forces arrived in the kingdom, the leader of the mountain tribe informed the kingdom's commander that her troops would join forces with Prince CQ's army. Recognizing the goodwill behind this decision, the royal commander allowed the mountain tribe soldiers to enter the kingdom. Once inside, both the mountain tribespeople and King Keen's army quickly launched an attack on the soldiers guarding the gate. Following this, King Keen instructed Scene and the first army to take a hidden path, while he and the second army, along with the mountain tribe leader, would proceed through the main route. A massive battle broke out as the mountain tribe warriors clashed with the kingdom's defenders. Utilizing the impressive combat skills and strength of the mountain tribesmen, King Keen managed to overpower most of the royal soldiers. At the same time, Scene and the first army encountered a formidable giant monster while traversing the secret passage. Despite facing initial challenges in defeating the creature, Scene eventually dealt a decisive blow with his exceptionally powerful sword, killing the beast. Afterwards, Scene and the initial squadron managed to sneak into the royal palace with the aim of taking out Prince Seikyo. However, they discovered him sitting proudly on the throne, calmly calling for one of the kingdom's most skilled generals, General G. Scene was faced with a one-on-one duel with General G, and he quickly accepted the challenge. The clash between them was fierce, as both displayed remarkable swordsmanship. However, Scene displayed a greater resolve and determination than General G, ultimately winning the duel. After seeing General G defeated, Prince CQ chose to escape from the palace. Yet, as he reached the palace gates, he discovered himself surrounded by King Keen and the mountain tribe army. King Keen encountered minimal resistance when fighting Prince CQ, swiftly overpowering him with one decisive strike. Shortly afterward, General Aki, famed as the strongest general from a neighboring kingdom, approached King Keen and asked about the cause of the conflict. In reply, King Keen stated his determination to reclaim the throne to prevent its misuse by traitorous individuals within the royal circle. His ultimate aim was to unite all the kingdoms of Japan, promoting justice and peace across the land. Upon hearing King Keen's noble aspirations, General Aki promised his support and vowed to help achieve peace. However, a royal general loyal to Prince Seikyo refused to accept King Qin's victory and quickly ordered his troops to attack General Aki and King Qin. Nevertheless, with unwavering confidence, General Aki effortlessly defeated all the soldiers with one decisive strike. Observing this demonstration of skill, the loyal general to Prince Seikyo grew enraged and tried to attack King Qin. Luckily, Xin quickly stepped in, stopping the general's assault and swiftly defeating him with a swing of his sword. General Aki praised Xin's courageous intervention, foreseeing that he would one day rise to become one of the kingdom's most powerful generals. Following his praise of Xin, General Aki and his soldiers left the kingdom. Yet, before they left, Xin introduced himself to General Aki and asked him to remember his name. With Prince Seikyo defeated and the disloyal generals defeated, King Qin and his army celebrated their victory, having successfully regained the royal throne from the traitors. The mountain tribespeople joined in the festivities, considering the triumph as their own. Before the mountain tribe leader left the royal palace, he presented Xin with a prestigious sword as a symbol of gratitude for his courage and commitment. Now, with acknowledgement from a formidable general like General Aki and the esteemed sword from the mountain tribe, Xin was one step closer to achieving his dream of becoming a great general in the future kingdom. So, the moral of the story is when fighting evil kings and disloyal generals, always bring along a mountain tribe for backup. They sure know how to party after a victory.